Good morning, goeiemorgen, molweni. Good morning, everybody. Alright, so as you guys know, today is the FOMC interest rate decision, Fed interest rate decision, and FOMC press conference. So just to start things off here, we can see that for the most part, the Credit Suisse story has just about been faded out. You know, those fears have been dampened by the central banks doing a lot of work to calm the situation. So yesterday we saw a nice correction of this move from last week Friday. And looks like obviously on the daily we closed bearish. Alright, so new daily candles come up great to the top wick, came back, flipped bearish already. Previous 4 hour, nice and bearish engulfing candle there. So I could possibly see a break of previous 4 hour lows to come and fill this wick and come down to 1928. Quite like that idea. Although we can see here on the 30-minute we have a support level right here at 1936. Just because we've got FOMC late on, sometimes we can see lower volume before these high impact events. So it may be best to just wait for a closure below 1936, 1936.6.5. So I think that's what I'm looking for here on gold today. Sells below the support that we formed. And then if we do get deeper pullbacks, I'm not really interested in pars. We could get pullbacks to 1950, could get pullbacks to 1960. You know, then the way I'll see that is we're probably just setting up for FOMC. And I'm not really looking to get involved in those pars. So if there's no trade on gold, that's fine this morning. I know that there'll be volume later on today. Alright, and then looking at GJ, since we have some CPI news this morning for the pound in about an hour's time, we're looking really good for the same buy ideas as yesterday, basically buys above 162. This range between 162 and 160.75, I'm not interested in at all. Now, if numbers come out higher than expected, we should get these bars very nice and clean. But if numbers are coming out as forecasted, you know, it's going to have a little bit of a lower impact. We may see a little bit of a pullback and then get the bars setting up. Otherwise, if numbers are coming out improved, if they're coming out better than forecasted, you know, we could see some deeper pullbacks even knowing GJ. Then we may not see this move being corrected today. But inevitably, I'm still looking for the bars above 162. Only really looking to adapt to sales below 160.75. So yeah, like we saw in gold yesterday, most of that move from the Credit Suisse story being corrected, you know, we can possibly anticipate the same thing here on GJ. Since what we're seeing there on gold is an outflow of liquidity from these safe havens, because the fear from the banking crisis, or the banking crisis fears, has been dampened by the work that these central banks have been doing to calm the situation. So that would obviously relate to the same story on the yen, since the yen is also a safe haven. Alright, so I think for the morning, all eyes on GJ really. I'll just set an alert here on gold. Morning everybody. What's up Nico, what's up Jared? What's up Ned? What's up Swales? DJ? Could have possibly started the stream later today, but you know, it's normal starting time, so just have to wait it out. At least we got plans here and we can just see what the market's doing, see if we missed anything, make sure we are prepared. So the forecasted numbers here for the pound, 9.9. Generally, pound CPI is not having you know, a major impact like dollar CPI, but it can result in some very nice moves, and oftentimes not immediately as the news is released, but sometimes the move only comes at London Open. I remember in December, numbers were improved for the pound CPI, and I think US CPI was like the day before or a couple days before, and we saw the effect with the US CPI, how the improved numbers weakened the dollar. So pound CPI in December, I was actually on holiday, but I took the sells on pound, and it didn't do anything. Like, it literally just sat around my entry, hovering in like a 20 pip range, and I just kept an eye on it, whatever. Kept an eye on it. I went out, I was busy, and then I just kept checking, and eventually I just set an alarm for the 4-hour candle close. I was like, okay, whatever, I'll see how this 4-hour candle closes. Alarm went off. Okay, I'm a little bit busy. Check, like 2 minutes passed, and this thing just fucking dropped. So sometimes the volume doesn't come in immediately with these kind of things, you know. So I will most probably still be waiting for London Open with GJ, and we'll just see how it goes. So if we do get high numbers here, expecting those clean bars above 162. Oh goodness. Keyboard, don't do this to me now. Alright, so yeah, that's pretty much what I'm looking for in GJ in terms of the news. Don't expect anything crazy, but yeah, we'll see. Okay guys, I'm going to go and make some coffee, and then yeah, I'll see you now. Morning Tom, morning Reese, morning Fabs. What's up boys? Jeez, I said I'm gonna go make some coffee and like 30 people tipped. I see my chat says disconnected for a second, so I'm not too sure if my internet is okay, if the stream is still up. Okay, stream looks fine. Soldier. You know, I wish I looked like that all the time. I got to gym looking skinny as fuck. I thought, like, you know, I looked at myself in the mirror when I got to gym. I was like, yo, I'm actually feeling kind of insecure. 3 sets later, I'm chilling. Man's feeling on top of the world. Okay, I'll be back now. I just get here and see Derek's comment. Though I just train hard, okay? All natural. Plus a little bit of Monster Money coffee. I don't know if you guys can see this. Monster Money trading. Thank you, Nico. Thank you, Jared. Appreciate it, boys. It's my birthday present. A Monster Money trading mug. It's pretty sick. I'm quite excited to drink my first coffee from it. By the way, if you want one of these mugs, hit the link in the bio. Psych. Maybe soon. My internet connection is a bit bad this morning, guys. Yeah, 1 of 1 for now. Shipping worldwide? You know what? Down the line, maybe we'll do that kind of thing, and then, of course, I'll have to ship worldwide. Sorry, Wayne. You'll have to speak to Nico. Creatine is the reason for my gains. She's stoic. It's a bit hectic, bro. I've actually got creatine and glutamine in here with a bit of salt. If you watch Andrew Huberman, he says you must drink salt in your water in the morning. So I've already had about 600 mils or so. Pour coffee on the router. Goodness. BCAAs and creatine more effective than anabolic steroids? Maybe more effective in keeping you healthy, but I don't think you can compare. Clean shakes? Guys, I don't know what you guys are talking about today. Look at Wayne looking out for you. Yeah, I think you should go get your blood work done, bro. Just make sure that you're okay. What's happening in SA from Botswana? There was a national shutdown in Tonton, like a protest. As far as I know, it's done. There wasn't really anything in my city. The thing is, okay, like not to get political, but if you listen to Julius Malema's speech, okay, it makes sense that we need a revolution. We need someone to stand up against the corruption and the load shedding and all of that. But how can you get someone who's just as corrupt to do that? So it doesn't really make sense. But a revolution is needed. I just don't think that we as a country are united enough to come together to do such a thing. I think the whole world, you know, everybody's so distracted that we'll never come together for a revolution. But anyway, the whole thing with the protest was obviously, like I say, to stop load shedding, stop the corruption, get Cyril out of power, and for a better economy, ironically. Because the thing is, how can you put businesses out of work for a day or whatever if you want a better economy? It doesn't make sense. I know that here, where I'm from, my city, people went to work. It was business as usual. Because one, businesses can't afford to close. Two, people can't afford to lose their jobs. And so, it is business as usual. Gotta use your brain. People are already hungry. They can't afford to not go to work. World War III is about to start. Yeah, things are heating up. Chinese president and Putin met up, I think it was yesterday. Had some discussions, so we need to just keep a lookout for those kind of headlines as well. Obviously, if there's nuclear warfare, look, I don't know if we'll even be here, but gold bars, no questions. But if there's any headlines on escalations of anything with Russia and US, we need to keep an eye out for those headlines. Tom, no worries. Are you serious, Tarek? I didn't even listen to that. Just remember, mainstream media is there to build fear into the population. No, 100%. I mean, personally, I don't really look at the mainstream news. Even this Forex factory stuff, I don't always pay attention to. But here we go. You know, they did meet yesterday, so like I say, we just need to keep a lookout for headlines on that. I'll check now, Tarek. Yo, Connor, would sales below 1935 be better because of the closure of the 30 minutes? Potentially. I mean, there is this resistance here. But what I'm focusing on more is that this is yesterday's low. We closed bearish yesterday. And we've got this clean traffic here. So with volume from London Open breaking yesterday's low with clean traffic to the left, you know, we should at least mirror that to the 1930. But we'll see. I'm waiting for a closure below this level, being a little bit more conservative. Twitter, one of the best sources of info. I don't know about that. Depends who you follow on Twitter. I do get some headlines off of Twitter. But yeah, you need to look for those unbiased sites because a lot of them are just nonsense. A lot of the info on Twitter is nonsense. I follow this breaking market news, or at Financial Juice on Twitter. They send out headlines. Also, Capital Hungry. Capital Hungry also sends out headlines on Twitter. So yeah, those are some of the best places to actually be getting headlines from, like getting your news from. Yeah, very trustworthy. Oh goodness, Tom.
I just bought this car.
You know, what's the most funny thing about this whole thing, Tarek? What made me laugh the most was your name on Instagram. Jeez. Hey man goes hard. US 30 please. Yeah, there we go. Can send a chart to the Discord. Just like gold, US 30 will be heavily impacted by the interest rate decision tonight and whatever the Fed has to say in the press conference. You can already see, I mean, just look at those candles. That's literally a barcode. I'm not even gonna have a look at this for you, to be honest. If you send a chart, I'll tell you what I think, but expect low volume up until tonight with this. Even gold, to be honest, I'm really not too interested here. Just waiting on GJ. US 30 getting ready to tumble. Well, yeah, if the Fed hits with the increase and then come out quite hawkish at the press conference, it most probably will see quite a nice sell-off there. Hopefully we get the same thing on gold. Do you think my Forex funds 5,000 account best starting place or waste of time? I would say at least go for 10k. You're not going to pay a whole lot more, but 10k, nice round number, just a little bit easier to work with. Also, just it feels like you have more room to play with. I think the 5k, the drawdown, it's obviously percentage-wise it's the same. It just feels a lot less. Are you going to put buy stops and sell stops? No, no. Oh. Because it will be low volatility. I mean, okay, yeah, that's a good justification as to why. So at least you're not going complete retard there, but no, I won't, to be honest. I'd rather just wait for price to set up. Euro USD, yeah, you're more than welcome to send a chart. Discord link is in the video description, and then I'll have a look for you. Let's see if anyone's actually sent a chart. No. $50k or up if you're going funded. If you got 10, yeah. I mean, the thing is, for someone just starting out on the funded, you know, who's never really traded that amount of money, you might want to ease into it, because to get the 8% for phase one, let's say, you still need to be risking, you know, maybe 0.5% to 1%, which is quite a lot. You know, if you lose 1%, $1,000, let's say, even though it's just a challenge, it's gonna get to you. If you can pass the 10k, get a payout from it, there you've got yourself funds to now pay for a bigger account, and maybe you would have also improved your psychology to manage a bigger account. Anyone want to play a game of chess? Shaq, let's do it. I was meant to play you yesterday, but I think you ran away. US indices are just sideways in the channel. Yeah, I mean, with the FOMC later, we can expect that low volume, so I wouldn't rush it. I would stay away from US indices this morning. Really. You don't need to take a trade right now. Just remember that, guys. And if you really want to take a trade, then rather than actually forcing a trade, go and ask yourself why you so badly want to take a trade. Because then you need to do some reflecting. Because you shouldn't be taking trades this morning on those pairs. I really don't think you should. Looking at US 30, I mean, there's nothing there. Greed. Jared. Fuck you, dude. Piece of shit. What? Oh, I thought this was you. Ah, this guy's a dick. Fuck chess. This game is shit. How many my Forex funds challenges have I failed and passed? Quite a few, bro. I won't lie. See, last year I was doing like pretty high risk, so maybe I did like 5 or 6 different challenges. Failed a couple, got a couple payouts. Inevitably, I mean, it was worth it. But that's why I say you need to be consistent before you do these challenges. You can see that I've done one here now on the stream. But I've been a lot more conservative. Yesterday I upped my risk for the first time, actually. No, sorry, the day before, and took a loss, so that is pretty tough. Lost a little bit of the profit I was in, but it's alright. I'll just lower risk again and just go with that conservative approach. I'll have a look at the chart shortly. Chat is frozen on the screen. Yeah, I don't know what's going on today. I think that looks better. Yeah, flip. Chess is the roller coaster. Okay, let's have a look at this chart sent to the community. Personally, I just don't really understand the confluences for taking the trade. I know you said it was a paper trade, but you know, where was the entry signal? This trend line is just very what's the word? It's not very solid, you know. You've just got two taps here and you just put it in. I don't know, I personally feel like we're in a range here. I understand maybe that we formed support there and you anticipate a volume to move back up, but not really seeing the idea. But at least your chart is relatively clean. Also, not something, I mean, I would have never have seen that. Base of the previous 4 hour closing bearish like that. I think that is pretty tough. Maybe if you're using that support formed on the hourly there as confluence, you know, at least having that bullish hourly close, then you've at least got support formed there. But it's a little bit tough. I mean, you are trading against the momentum here. But I suppose you could say that, okay, there's not enough volume to continue moving down. Maybe we come up to create this top wick on this previous candle. Like, there are obviously always going to be ways to justify taking a trade. Just personally, I think it was quite a high risk, definitely a high risk trade. Trend is your friend. Exactly. That's why one thing I've got marked up here is potential pullbacks. You know, we might not have the volume to just push on straight down today. But personally, I would rather wait for those pullbacks, stay out of these bars, because you'll see that, you know, as we move up, it may be with lower volume. Look here, you already got a push, and you've already got a quite a steep retracement here. Just in 3 minutes, look how hard you're pulling back. What is MGMT drawdown? Management drawdown, most probably. Oh, fuck. I was just saying, waiting for CPI numbers, not really like anticipating anything crazy, Erkin. Just want to see how the numbers come out. I'll probably still wait for London Open. But give me 2 minutes, guys. I'll be back now. Yeah, just to elaborate on what Jared said, sometimes your stop is going to be big. Sometimes it's just logical to have a 50 pip stop. When when there's high volume, high volatility, if you're wanting to trade in those conditions, sometimes your stops will have to be a little bit bigger. But, the idea is to be managing risk, losing less than you anticipated. Your stops are there to just prevent you from further loss. So if you are risking 1% on that 50% stop, which you can do, just adjust your lot size. You can generally close out partials before you hit your stop. But sometimes it is going to move quickly, and sometimes you're going to take the full stop. That's why in volatile conditions you have to be very decisive. You need to be able to execute and have a plan. So if you have a big stop and you say, okay, I don't want to take this full stop, I'm going to manage at this point, then when it gets to that point and you're in drawdown, make sure that you are closing out immediately. Don't think twice. Have a plan and just simply stick to it. What time is it there? Time's on the screen, 8:53. Then to use a smaller lot size. Yeah, definitely. If stops are big, lower your risk. I mean, if you're normally using, let's say, a one lot, and your average stop loss is like 20, 25, 30 pips, and now all of a sudden conditions are a bit more volatile, your stops are 40, 50 pips, obviously you're going to have to lower your lot size at that point. Maybe use a 0.75, maybe use a 0.5. Are you doing NY session tonight and FOMC? I think we'll skip out New York session today. Just wait for FOMC. So on the 4 hour here on gold, it looks like we've created a top wick. And we might come back down now. So this is why buys would have been pretty tough there. You got to pay attention to the higher time frames and the overall trend here. Even if we are coming out in and around the realms of the expected numbers, or even a little bit lower than the expected numbers, this is still high inflation. It's still very high. So that's why I say inevitably we'll still be looking for the buys above 162, and the lower than forecasted numbers could just bring some pullbacks, deeper pullbacks. But overall, looking quite bullish on GJ. Like I say, most of the banking crisis fears looks like they have been faded out for now. Obviously, we just need to keep an eye on the news. Anything could come out at any time. Also, with war tensions, those kind of headlines could also bring fear into the market. For now, there hasn't really been anything that will have a major impact. It's just noise, really. Like Putin and the Chinese president meeting. It's not really having an effect on the market. But if anything were to come from this, if things were to escalate, that could have an impact and bring strength to the yen. But for now, we can see that sell-off from Credit Suisse has kind of been faded out. We've got a lot of rejections here to 160 or 159 and closing back bullish now on the daily candles. And GJ really is a beast. I mean, we saw last year with those interventions, we dropped maybe, this drop of about 1,500 pips was in, I think, 2 days. And over the next few weeks, we had just grabbed liquidity from better price points here and actually went up to create new highs. So when you've got these reactive events that are going against the higher time frame bias being bullish, obviously. So we had that sell-off, and then that's been faded out. Now we're shifting back into that bullish bias. So CPI numbers have come out here and we are pushing up. Yeah. So strong bias here on GJ. We might just get quite a swift move up here, to be honest. But I would like to just wait. So as planned, higher than expected and higher than forecasted and higher than previous, so more than 10.1. We got 10.4 there for the year-on-year CPI. So extremely high numbers. That should bring us a lot of strength here to continue moving up. But you can already see that if you had impulsively got in on the break of the highs, you might be having a tough time now. So just from experience, from what I've seen with the news coming out an hour before London Open, 9 times out of 10 it's not bringing the move immediately, and we get the move either at London Open or even at Asian close, or the close of the 4-hour candle. So no need to FOMO into anything here, just be patient. But I mean, those were high numbers, so we could possibly look for slightly more aggressive buys, for sure. Because that should bring some nice one-sided volatility. Already seen that nice push up. What time frame do you enter on? 30-minute, hourly, 15-minute, if there's high volume, if there's news, sometimes scaling into a 5 minute or 1 minute. Ned, what did you do? So this is a situation where I would possibly be executing on a 1 minute, where we've got this one-sided volatility. We had that pullback, now support formed. This is a high risk idea. Like I said, I would like to wait for a candle closure above 162. Knowing GJ. Although, like I say, very high numbers, so we should see this one-sided volatility. That 1 minute price action is so clean today. We could easily just drive up all the way to 163 now, fill the range to the left. This is definitely a catalyst now to fill this range. But in terms of entries, I'm not just going to jump in without an entry signal. Not really prepared to trade the 1 minute time frame here on GJ. At least the 5 minutes. What would be ideal here is next 15 minutes maybe, if we could come down, retest this level one last time. That'll give us very nice opportunities. Otherwise, London Open could even bring that retest of that level. but there is quite a lot of volume here. So if GBP news positive, GBP goes up. Yes, sir. Yeah, and this is why you would have had a tough time taking those buys here now. You can just see that higher time frame momentum coming in. Like I say, 4 hour was probably just creating a top wick, coming back down to flip bearish. Do you think it'll retest? Don't know. Just gotta wait and see. There's plenty of range to move up though, and plenty of bullish momentum. Enough fundamental drivers here to push us up. So just waiting. You know, the new 15-minute might give us that bottom wick. And if we scale in here, you can see, you know, we're just pushing straight up here. So we could easily get a little bit of a pullback here. Maybe retesting 162, 200, 250. So just gonna wait for something like that. Could have potentially paid here to take the more aggressive buys based off the data. Since it was such high numbers, we can see that one-sided volatility coming in as discussed. But I really would have liked to have just waited here for a candle closure. Maybe if we can retrace a bit, leaving a wick to fill on this 15, next 15 minute might give opportunities to get in here. Gold also looking good for potential sells. Maybe at London Open, if you can close below 1936. Short will come back to stop people out on that impulse. Knowing GJ, probably. So that's why I just want to be patient here. I'm sure it will give us an entry setup. GJ could be doing a pullback going up, might resell at 163 premium. I absolutely would not bet on that. So we can see the pullback, the 15-minute pulling back a little bit here, leaving a wick to fill. If the next 15 can open up, give us a nice bottom wick, that should give us some sort of entry opportunity. Looks like we're about to break previous 4-hour lows here, and gold might get a push there. Okay, 15-minute close here on GJ. In order to actually get in here, I would like to see a bottom wick on the 15. Although 1-minute structure here looks pretty decent. Yeah, let's see that bottom wick and then possibly get involved. Do you think it'll go above 163 or come back down to 162 from 163? Just hold on, I need to get my crystal ball quick. Or I really don't know. I'm waiting for a bottom wick to be formed on this 15-minute. So that would be a pullback retest of 162.200. Your chart looks clean. Thank you. I mean, it's just simple support and resistance, key levels. Don't really need much more. When you can just use key levels, understand price action, have a good fundamental understanding, you'll be perfectly fine. You can see here for the expectations set out for the CPI today, higher than forecasted and higher than previous, so higher than 10.1. And we got 10.4 here for year-on-year CPI, which is very high. We're expecting clean buys above 162. So we're waiting patiently here for price to just set up. Are you going to make impulse entries if the retest closes above? Or probably you'll look for buys. I'm just going to wait and see. Might even end up waiting for the 30-minute candle close. What would be very nice is a retest of 162 and a 5-minute support forming. I don't mind scaling in, being a little bit more aggressive because the numbers are so one-sided. So I believe there's a very high probability for us to fill this range up to 163. Very, very high probability. Based off actual data, you know. If I were to ever use a buy limit, it would be now. Buy limit at 162, 200. But man, I'm scared of those things, I won't lie. But this is great. I mean, we're getting that pullback as needed. We're not getting the full move up right now. And this is why I say generally it's better to wait for London Open for this 9 o'clock news. Even when we had now these extremely one-sided numbers, we saw that push up in line with our expectations. But just staying patient, waiting for price to come to you, it's going to pay off. Also being aware of the timing. You know, like I say, through experience, we've seen that generally the move from news comes at London Open. So we actually have had, you know, quite a strong push up here. Pushed up about 70, nearly 80 pips. But I don't think there's any reason we couldn't now fill the rest of the range up to 163. Got a buy limit at 258. It's not terrible, I won't lie. Okay, so we're seeing that tap into this previous resistance. We'll see how price reacts in this level. What if this 30-minute candle closes below? Then I'll just wait. Okay, we are seeing quite a nice reaction here to this level. So we've got confirmations with the 15-minute closing above. Got that strong data for the pound, clean traffic to the left. Pulled back, retested this level. So I'm going to be scaling in here today. What I'll do is I'll wait for this 5-minute candle to close now in 20 seconds. I'll probably look to do a market execution in this case. Let's just see the 5-minute get a bottom wick here. Okay. Well, we got that reaction there on the 1-minute. I'm going to execute bars right here, based off that retest, and then what I'll do is I'll have stops below this previous low from that initial pullback there. So stops are about 35 pips at 161. Let's call it 950. I've just done a market execution right here. So initial target will be 163 flat. And then final target 164. So reasoning for the slightly more aggressive buys today was how the numbers were coming out. We had that nice one-sided data, much higher than expected and higher than previous, with plenty of clean traffic to the left. So technicals, fundamentals, lining up here very nicely. Will you enter again on the flip? No, I'm already in. If I hadn't entered there, if I hadn't entered where I entered, buy stops on the breaker, the current 15 don't look too bad. So obviously just use your discretion there. Gents, I'm not too worried about gold right now. I'm in here on GJ. So I'm just going to be locked in on GJ. Gold can do whatever it wants. $30-minute candle is about to close here. We are closing above resistance. Hopefully that closure brings some volume. Even though this 15 will be bearish, closing a weak bearish candle, respecting 162. So possible entry opportunities, you know, if we break previous 15-minute highs or previous 30-minute highs now, don't look too bad. This entry on the lower time frames was a little bit more aggressive, but like I say, I'm willing to take that gamble with how the numbers came out. What about break-even points? The moon, bro. I'm not in a rush to go break even. Just gonna let it run, trust the higher time frames, trust the data. Probably go break even at 163. Hey, what's up, Nico? Is that you? Yellow. So far, price action looks pretty good here. Hey, thank you, bro. I really appreciate that. Means a lot. Thank you for being here. Sure, you'll get your 10 euros back on this trade. Any trades on right now? Yeah, well, I'm in a GJ bar at the moment. So we're not seeing too much volume right now. Just before London Open, with about 25 minutes to London Open. So that opening should bring us some volume. Just obviously be aware of pullbacks at London Open, but it's very nice that we've already had a retracement here, grabbed a bit of liquidity from 162. So I wouldn't expect any deeper pullbacks, but it's always a possibility. But I mean, in line with the data here, in line with the technicals, I don't see any deeper pullbacks. If there are, obviously, then we just adapt, manage risk. But at this point, we're looking really good here. And as good as it looks, you can never get too comfortable in a trade. But I think that we should be styling here today. Will you add positions on the break of the high? No. I think I've got a pretty nice entry here already. What's the RR for the trade? Not that it matters, but 4. 1 to 4,000. You could even see moves higher from, like I say, higher time frame. We just had a liquidity grab essentially as a result of that Credit Suisse story. Now we're starting to correct that move. So I'm only really looking to target the highs here to correct that move from Credit Suisse. But higher time frame, you could see us push up all the way to 165, 166. I just don't want to get greedy. I don't want to be holding trades for days. And I'm happy to have a TP at 164. Take what I need. I'll probably even secure some at 163. Probably secure half at 163. Breaking previous 15-minute highs, we're looking solid here. When are you going to move stop loss? Good question. Right now I'm just going with the flow. I think once we break previous 30-minute highs, would not be a bad shout to move stop loss to break even. I don't really want to micromanage too much on GJ. What I might do instead is move stops to below the previous 15. But I'll wait here, see if we break that previous 30-minute high. It's more of a set and forget kind of position. Got a very safe entry here. What lot size would you recommend on a 10k? 0.30, 0.30. Average trade length, about 2 meters. Yeah, I'm not too sure, bro. Completely depends on market conditions. You can't really anticipate how long your trade is going to be. This could be a trade that I hold for days. I don't really want to hold it for days, but if my target is at 164 and it takes 2 days to get there, then I'll hold it for 2 days. Maybe we just get a ton of volume at London Open, we push up, and then it's 15 minutes, who knows. 100 meters, something like that. Yeah, I love you too, Older FX, thank you, bro. Enter if not in yet. I really think your entry opportunities, if you didn't get in on that 5-minute support, were probably on the break of this previous 15, or otherwise even break of the previous 30-minute highs right here. So as we break those highs at 162.600, possibly, just it's a little bit tricky with London Open in 20 minutes. That's why I wanted to get involved on that retest, because there was still some time to London Open. So at least we can get into a little bit of profit before market open, probably get stops to break even, maybe secure some, we'll see. Daily profit goal, I don't really have goals. I have a drawdown limit that I try and stick to of 2%. So more worried about limiting the downside and then just letting the upside take care of itself. Taking what the market gives me, making sure that I don't lose too much. One lot on a 10k on a funded is definitely too big. Gold forming topic on a 30, downside potential. Yeah, I think so. Timing's a bit tricky for me on gold. I would like to, not that I'm going to enter here, I'm happy with GJ, but I'd probably wait for London Open. And if we're closing back above 1936, then I would probably just hold off there. The fact that we've broken the support, if we don't get the move down, it's showing that there's not enough volume here to the downside. And we're back in this range, showing pretty low volume. With FOMC later, it kind of makes sense. "15 minutes closed bullish here. That looks pretty good. Do you think it's possible to recover 6% by Tuesday? Anything's possible, but the issue with that is you're probably feeling too much pressure, and it's going to be very difficult to make good decisions when you're so focused on the targets and when you're trading with that kind of pressure. So that's going to be very tough. Obviously it's doable, but you need to set yourself realistic expectations. What is the likelihood of that? If you're in a YouTube chat asking about it, that shows that you're worrying. So I would I don't know what to do if I were you, to be honest. Just focus on trading well. Maybe up your risk and just kind of YOLO it, but still look for good trades. I'm assuming that you're doing a challenge. I'm not saying YOLO it and say fuck the risk. Understand the risk. Wait for high probability setups. Just possibly increase your risk slightly so that you have a chance of reaching that. Aim for 200%, typical South African trader. Yeah, it's very true, sad, and funny all at the same time. It really is. Gustav, it's a long journey. You're gonna have obstacles in your journey. This is not the end. If you were to fail that challenge, lose that challenge, you know what? Failure is not fatal. This is the first step in a very long journey. Take the lessons from it and keep moving forward. Don't give up. Don't think this is the end. Funding challenges are tough. They take advantage of human psychology, putting you in a box with restrictions and targets. It's not easy. You need to be consistent. You need to have experience before you can take advantage of these challenges. So if maybe you don't have that consistency already, take some time off from the challenges after this one. I hope you pass, but if you don't, take some time off, go trade a little bit of your own funds, even if you have to go and lose some of your own funds. Take the lessons, play the long game. Don't give up. Just, like I say, failure is not fatal. Pick yourself up and keep moving forward. That's a very toxic cycle. Failing a challenge, going back to demo, saving up capital till you can buy another one. That's a very toxic cycle. If I were you, I'd rather put funds into a live account. Even if it's $100, you're not going to get rich with $100. I'll say that now. And $100 is not ideal to start trading with. But if you can put in $100 and get consistent on that $100, even if you're making 2 cents a day, that's some level of consistency. So prove to yourself you can do it on $100. If you can grow that $100 to $200, then there's your money to go pay for another challenge. And you've developed some experience, you've developed the skill, and now you've got some money to pay for a challenge. The issue with trading demo is you're not going to learn the skill. You'll learn how price moves, but the reality is anyone can learn how price moves. It's pattern recognition. You learn to recognize patterns in like pre-primary school. A 5-year-old can recognize patterns. A double top, a head and shoulders, whatever, you know? But the real skill, of course, understanding the economics fundamentals, but the real skill is understanding yourself, managing your psychology and your emotions, and being able to execute with discipline when those emotions are involved. Because there are a different level of emotions involved with trading real money, and that's the skill. Some of the best analysts in the world are the worst traders. Just because an analyst is amazing at what he does doesn't mean he's a good trader. Trading comes down to execution. How well can you execute? And also understanding that execution doesn't have to be perfect, but how are you going to manage your risk? How are you going to reduce your risk as much as possible? That's stuff you're going to learn trading real money, not a demo account. Started from $100 and make $25 every day. Unfortunately, when trading those small accounts, you are going to be risking quite a lot, but understand that risking so much on any size account, inevitably you may blow up. Everything is possible with patience, exactly. Look at your journey. I mean, started off small, but look at where you are now. I mean, my first trading account, I shit you not, was $30. $30. Crazy. 500 Rand. I knew nothing. Didn't really have much to put in anyway. Okay, so it looks like we are breaking the highs here. Got about 8 minutes to London Open. So I'm going to move my stop loss in here. I'm going to have it below 162.200. So I'll put it at 162.190. So I haven't gone break even yet. But at least stops are below the 30-minute candle here. So if we do get a little bit of a pullback, could potentially still be safe and minimized risk here. But overall, we do look really good to continue driving up. Like I say, fundamentally quite sound here to see that strength. Clean traffic to the left to 163. In a situation like this, like I say, where the trade idea is based on data, where we've got such clear technicals, you want to have a bit more confidence in these situations. Obviously, overconfidence will kill, but just allowing your position some room to do its thing. GJ always breaking highs and dumping. Bro. GJ be like that. No, Tom, I don't. I've already moved stops in here to reduce some risk, and I think the stop is quite sensible at this point. But you have to have confidence in your positions. So that's one thing in this situation, like I say, where we've got clear fundamentals, got clean traffic to the left. We want to have a bit more confidence in these kind of positions. At the same time, not too much confidence, hence I've brought the stops in. Initial stops were about 38 pips or so. Now my stop loss is 15 pips. So that's risk management in and of itself right there. Guys, I'll be right back. London opens in 2 minutes. So let me just pop off quick before London open. 3, 2, 1. London Open. TP smashed. So we wouldn't want to see price breaking the previous 30-minute low at this point. And we are expecting volume here. One to 10 RRA. Let's go SMC. Smart Monster Money, Connor. SMMC. Alright chat, so I'm going to move stops to break even. We're seeing that volume come in now, so we should be safe. Manage, secure, do whatever you feel is comfortable. But I'm going to give it some room here to run, anticipating this London Open volume to fill the range to the left. Don't have much of a bottom wick on the 30, so we could come and get that wick. Jared, no. I haven't secured anything yet. These guys W spam me. I haven't even closed out anything. But I mean, so far, very nice trade. The numbers came out higher than forecasted and higher than previous. Was expecting the clean bars above 162 as planned out. Didn't get in on the impulse, waited patiently there. Got a very nice pullback. Support formed, retest of 162 as planned, as discussed. And it was just a matter of execution. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more volume here. Gold closed back in the range, not enough volume to continue down. Just be careful there leading up to FOMC. We can see that low volume already. Are you still in GJ? Still in GJ. I haven't even secured anything. Just move stops to break even. Now we're starting to see that volume come in. Aiming for 163 or 164. 163 I'll definitely be securing. I'll probably secure 75% at that level. Was really expecting a bit more volume. But I mean, if you look at it, it's like this. We've already pushed up here about 100 pips. Thing is, we've got clean traffic to the left. We've got that fundamental driver of that high inflation, high CPI. So like I say, just having confidence in the position, letting it run. Can you do a trailing stop if only one trade was opened? Firstly, I've got my stop loss at break even, not looking to strangle the position. What you could look at doing is, if we do form some sort of new structure here, so let's say for instance you get a break above 163, you form support at 163, let's just say for an example, and then you can see, okay, we're starting to move back up. At that point you could trail your stop and put the stop below structure. That's the most reasonable way to trail your stop. But generally I'm not doing that because I'm not holding positions for that long where we are forming that new structure. But that is something you could look at if you're looking to hold this to 164. Knowing me, I might not even hold it to 164. I think we need Jared singing in here today. Let's go, GJ, let's go. You already did the song? Alright, we're pulling back a little bit here. I don't really want to see the 5-minute close bearish. Alright, so there we go. Close bullish. Can you tell me about gold? Once upon a time, gold was in a range. Just be careful with gold today with FOMC later. We can already see that low volume. Not expecting fireworks before this evening. One hour no bottom wick. Are you not worried? It is a little bit of a concern.
Let's go, GJ. Let's go.
Jeez. Came out of nowhere there. The only reason the hourly having no bottom wick could be a concern is that we come and create a bottom wick, because we don't know how deep that bottom wick will form. But with volume, sometimes we don't get these bottom wicks, especially on GJ. Oftentimes we see that. But at the moment it looks like we might come and get that bottom wick. We here till 10 AM. Well, I mean, London Open is only at 10 AM, so I don't mind staying a little bit later than that. And obviously I'm in the trade at the moment, so just monitoring this. Maybe the new 15-minute brings some volume. Alright, so we have now come to create that bottom wick on the hourly. Like I said, don't know how deep that bottom wick will form, but stops at break even here. Tapping into 162,500. So a nice level to possibly just form that bottom wick for the hourly. 15 minutes about to close bearish. Quite an ugly bearish rejection candle. But paying attention to the 30-minute and hourly, I'm just going to hold fast here. Still holding above this resistance, this 5-minute resistance. Please manage your own trade the way you see fit, 100%. I mean, if you wanted to secure partials, you should have already done so. If you were concerned about break even. But I mean, I'm happy to hold here. But generally, when you move your stop loss to break even, you've accepted that it could be a break even trade. So I've already accepted that. Maybe you haven't, and you want to secure some of your profit, and that's perfectly fine. You should do that. Follow your risk tolerance. Exactly. That's perfect, Charles. I mean, it was still a great trade, and well done for sticking to your plan. That's the main thing. At the end of the day, all I'm doing is sitting here taking the trades I would have taken anyway. And at the end of the day, you should be doing the same. So if you don't agree with the trade I'm taking, you shouldn't be taking it. Even if you do agree, just make sure that you know exactly what you're looking at. And if you don't know what's going on, don't blindly just follow the trades. Take some time to learn, take some notes. What's your plan about gold? Probably leave it for this evening. So we are holding that 162,500 level. Looks like we could get deeper pullbacks potentially here on gold. And just for some insight here, the reason the plan was buys with higher than forecasted numbers is with a higher inflation, that gives us clues that the Fed, or sorry, not the Fed in this instance, the Bank of England, there's a higher chance that they will raise rates at the next meeting, which is actually on Thursday. So what we're seeing being priced in with this move to the upside is that possibility of them raising rates. Okay, 5 minutes holding that level nicely. I wouldn't want to see us break previous 5-minute lows, then we'll probably come back to entries. A trading system gives you money, risk management protects your money. That's a good way to look at it. Feel like skipping. Skipping to the part where we hit TP or what? Still looking very nice here. 30-minute candle's about to close in 6 minutes. Skipping the drawdown. Skipping the drawdown in profit. Gonna skip to the good part. Fuck's sakes. GJ's a boss today. Still looking very good though. At least we can see, okay, we've got that bottom wick on the hourly, so there was a bit of uncertainty with that. We didn't know how far it would pull back, but we're holding that 162.500 key level very nicely there. Seeing the bullish momentum come back in. Once we break the highs formed, I think we will be good. Yeah, Jared, I know you could have, bro. I'm sure you would have made a wonderful duet. Now we only need to worry about copyright when it's Jared singing. Jared, I think you and I should enter Idols as a rave, bro. We can wear Monster Money merch. It can just be promo. I'm sure once they hear us sing, they'll flood into the stream. Probably hit like 100k views after being on Idols with the Monster Money shirt. 5 minutes closed above resistance for what it counts. That's confidence right there. Facts. That's actually pretty good marketing, Ned. Is it possible that you share your trading view settings somehow? If you're wanting to see the colors, oh, I'm not too sure what's going on with my trading view. The settings are not coming up. The blue is 0009 CFF. You can just type that in there. The background is like a gray. Candles are black. So you can just go back and have a look at that. Double 09 CFF. That's the one. You see, if you know what you're looking at, if you have a strong fundamental understanding, that previous bearish 15-minute candle shouldn't have scared you too much. The only thing was, there was a bit of uncertainty with how far or how big of a bottom wick we would form on the hourly candle. But like I say, this trade is based on cold hard data. There's no speculation. Of course, this is trading. We are playing the probabilities, but based off taking this trade on data, such clean technicals, clean traffic to the left, it increases the probabilities tenfold. And we've seen with news trades, trades taken based off data, if you know what you're looking at, from personal experience with the streams from last year, this year, the win rate with these kind of positions is about 90%. Sometimes I think about just trading news, to be honest. Just by the way, generally the free community is not getting these news trades anymore. You know, GBP CPI is not major, but for instance, FOMC tonight will be for members only. And we're doing this kind of thing on a regular basis, where for members we are breaking down these different expectations and different scenarios that could play out with trade ideas, taking the news trades live. So if you are interested in furthering your fundamental understanding, trading news without gambling, have a look at what we offer. The link for the memberships is in the video description. Alright, 30-minute candle close there, very nice and bullish. Obviously 15-minute also closed bullish there. It's cancelling out that bearish 15-minute candle there. Just getting a little bit of a bottom wick here. And then once we break the highs, anticipating us to fill the rest of the range here to 163. Haven't secured anything just yet. Sitting up about 34 pips or so. Having a little bit of a tough time breaking those highs there. With the 4-hour candle closure coming up, and we're not breaking those highs, maybe a good time to secure some profit here. So I'm actually going to close 50%. Not really seeing the volume I wanted to see here. It's closing 50% at about 29 pips. We should be alright once we break the highs. Higher time frame looks good here, but been sitting in profit for some time now. I don't want to risk that 4-hour close pullback to get stopped out at break even after sitting in profit for like, what, an hour now? You know, so just closing out partials and letting the rest run. Based off the 30 minutes, I have confidence to hold, but like I say, I don't want to get greedy. Like I say, been sitting in profit for literally more than an hour now, and the fact that we're not really getting that strong push up, I'm concerned the new 4-hour could actually even come back and retest 162. So rather just going to take a little bit of profit off the table, be grateful for that profit, and leave a runner here. This must be like the most drawn out W sperm ever. Thanks, guys. Never knew you could leave a runner. Yeah, you can just, if you have, let's say, 2 lots open, you can close 1 lot. You can close 0.5. Guys, you know what? I have secured some profit here, 50%. Stop losses at break even, so risk-free trade. Very nice to take advantage of this volume to the upside that came from the CPI news here for the pound today. We've got FOMC later on, so I think I'm going to call it here. Guess I'll update you guys on the Discord with how it goes. If you're not part of the free Discord, the link is in the video description. Obviously, members will keep you up to date as well. But yeah, looking to have some pretty big targets here. So this might take some time to play out. But this is a risk-free trade and secured partials already. So not really too much more to do. So I'm not going to waste your time. Thank you so much for joining today. And remember, FOMC later on. Before high impact events, we generally do see lower volume. So with gold, for instance, you can see we are ranging right now. Could potentially see further pullbacks, but really there is no rush. You do not need to take a trade before the news. If you know what you're doing, go ahead. If you feel uncertain or if you feel rushed, promise you rather just wait. In the long run, it's going to pay off. Even with US equities, US 30, NAS, you guys just chill out today. It's not much going for you today until FOMC is released. GJ on the other hand, beautiful here, very nice. Like I say, leaving runners. Got a TP at 164. I will probably secure 25% at 163 and just leave runners to 164. So that's going to be me. Thank you so much for joining again, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take it easy. FOMC, if you do want access to the live stream, the link is in the video description for members. Obviously we'll do a breakdown before nice FOMC prep so that we are ready for that, and I'll see you later. Cheers.